The best local Y2K parties Monday at 9 on AM Northwest.
On World News Tonight this Sunday, the latest on that hijacked airliner. A UN team is now on the scene and another passenger has been freed. Dozens are killed as fierce winds blast Europe this Christmas weekend. And on a day when millions of Americans are returning gifts, an unwelcome surprise for those who bought online.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight, Sunday.
Good evening. I'm Carol Simpson. No answers tonight for 160 hostages still stranded on a hijacked airliner in Afghanistan. Russia called for an emergency meeting of the Security Council. For the passengers, there is only more fear, more uncertainty, and more waiting. ABC's Hillary Brown has the latest.
A three-man team from the United Nations arrived in Kandahar today, but not to mediate between the hijackers and the Indian authorities, they said.
There's nothing to see.
They were to play a humanitarian role. One hostage with diabetes was released as a goodwill gesture. The plane landed in Afghanistan early Christmas morning when the hijackers made their demands known. They want India to release this man, a Pakistani Islamic religious leader, in exchange for their 160 hostages. Otherwise, they said, they will blow up the plane. Passengers released in Dubai on Saturday said the hijackers were heavily armed and violent. They held me by the hair, says this man, then they started stabbing me. Since they released the plane on Friday on a flight from Kathmandu to Delhi, the hijackers touched down in Amritsar, Lahore, and Dubai before flying on to Afghanistan. They released 27 hostages in Dubai, along with the body of an Indian businessman who was stabbed to death. He was on his honeymoon. He was cremated today outside New Delhi. The hijackers refused the Taliban's request to release his widow. There is no visible sign so far of any action from the Indian authorities, whose stated policy is not to negotiate with terrorists. Worried relatives heckled the Indian foreign minister at a news conference in Delhi today, demanding that they negotiate. Tonight, the plane stands on the runway in Kandahar, refueled, but with no indication of its next destination. The Taliban authorities have made it quite clear they want it to leave. Hillary Brown, ABC News, London.
Violent weather is wreaking havoc in Europe this Christmas weekend. At least 48 people are dead in Switzerland, Germany, and the hardest hit, France. The awning of the famous Lido Cabaret skidded along the Champs-Élysées in Paris. Trees were ripped out of the ground, crushing cars, killing several people in northern France. More than 1 million people lost power. Winds of up to 120 miles per hour lashed the region, the strongest winds to pound Paris in half a century.
Notre appartement est complètement bousillé.
My apartment has been destroyed, says this woman. In Switzerland and Germany, falling trees killed people as well, blocking roads and rails. Winds ripped off roofs. Boats took a beating too this morning, rocked in gusts of up to 96 miles per hour. In Britain, almost 300 rivers remained on flood alert today. Thousands of homes are at risk from rain and winds. Back in this country, millions of Americans headed to the stores today, returning gifts and shopping for bargains. But what about those who bought online? As ABC's Bill Redeker reports, when it comes to e-tailing, it's a lot harder to give than to receive.
With discounts of up to 70%, no wonder more and more consumers waited until today, the day after Christmas, to go shopping.
About all kinds of good stuff. It's amazing.
In fact, the week after Christmas now accounts for 11% of all holiday sales. Enough business to generate pandemonium in New York, chaos in Chicago, a free-for-all in Los Angeles.
The day after Christmas is traditionally one of the busiest traffic days because consumers are redeeming gift certificates They're taking advantage of sales. They're spending the money that they got for Christmas.
Add to this the tradition of returning gifts today, and you have malls and shopping centers that are busier and more congested than ever. But if you think this can be frustrating, wait till you try to return or exchange gifts bought online. E-tailers, who had a great season, ringing up an estimated $4 billion in sales, are in many cases unprepared for the returns. BizRate.com reviewed the return policies of more than 1,000 websites.
A good majority of online buyers are going to be very surprised by the return policies and some of the details in those policies when they go to return their orders.
Details like having to pay return shipping fees, a fee for repacking the gift, a fee to restock it.
It was $13 to send it back for something I didn't even want.
And some online merchants even insist you insure the gift.
For the most part, customers are on their own and have to insure it themselves and pay for shipping themselves.
Others will not let you return the gift to the company's store. Still others won't let you return it at all, awarding a merchandise credit instead. It's enough to make you want to return to traditional retailers. On second thought, Bill Redeker, ABC News, New York.
Still ahead on World News Tonight this Sunday, a brutal war approaches a bitter end. Unlikely allies join forces to prevent violence. And forget the champagne, it will be coffee for millions of Americans on the job this New Year's Eve.
This is World News Tonight, Sunday. Brought to you by Theraflu.
In this life, there's just no stopping. No break for a hacking cough. No rest for a raw, sore throat, aches, fever. But when you're desperate for relief, there is Theraflu. Fast, powerful, hot liquid therapy. With the first sip of that soothing hot liquid, you feel relief is on the way. Soon your throat is soothed, your cough calmed. Maximum strength Theraflu. Now in new honey lemon chest congestion and cough. Instant comfort, powerful relief.
Planning a holiday party? Make it a very splashy event. Serve a seafood platter from Red Lobster. Shrimp, crab, or both. Either way, it's seafood worth celebrating. Order yours today.
Super Bowl Sunday. In a special multimedia event, Publishers Clearinghouse will surprise someone with $21 million. Watch your mail or go to PCH.com. Enter, and Super Bowl Sunday, it could be you.
A significant discovery in eye health may be lutein, a nutrient found in these healthy foods, perhaps as vital to your eyes as the beta-carotene in carrots. And now, Centrum and Centrum Silver are the only leading multivitamins that have lutein. So whatever your age, you can help maintain your precious sight. Look into Centrum and Centrum Silver, now more complete with lutein. Also look for Centrum Herbals, the only herbals backed by Centrum Science.
The White House again today urged Moscow to use restraint as Russian forces continue their drive to take Grozny, the capital of Chechnya. ABC's Clay Scott is in Moscow.
This weekend, Russian forces claim to have moved the fighting into the heart of Grozny. Their aim is to gain control of strategic junctions, moving slowly, reclaiming Grozny block by block. There is reportedly strong resistance by Chechen fighters, but the Russians say they're not worried. We'll wipe them out, says this general. Let there be no doubt of it. But the Russian strategy is still a cautious one. They remember the last attempted storming of Grozny on New Year's Eve 5 years ago. Hundreds of soldiers died in that battle, ambushed by Chechen guerrillas. Those same guerrillas are patrolling the streets of the city today, laying landmines, sniping from concrete buildings, waiting for the Russians. Thousands of Grozny's civilians are also waiting. For weeks, they have hidden in basements as Russian planes bomb the city. Now they have no choice but to stay underground and hope to survive the next stage of the fighting, the street-by-street battles that have already begun. Russia's generals speak optimistically of clearing Grozny of rebels in the coming days and finishing them off in the mountains. But for all Russia's firepower and thirst for revenge, history has taught them there's no reason to believe either goal will be easy. Clay Scott, ABC News, Moscow.
A Chinese court today sentenced 4 leading members of the banned spiritual movement Falun Gong to prison terms of up to 18 years. The one-day trial found them guilty of using a cult to undermine the laws. Security was tight to prevent protests. Coming up, the FBI finds an unusual ally in fighting terrorism.
There's my husband, Nolan Ryan, still throwing heat. Can you believe he's got arthritis? You see, Nolan's doctor says the best way to control arthritis pain is to keep moving. And to make it easier, he recommends Advil. Nothing's been proven stronger on arthritis pain, yet it's gentle on his stomach. In fact, I take Advil for my arthritis pain. That way, we can exercise together.
Advil, stronger than pain.
Good evening, sir. Your finest table? Reservation. Perhaps you'll find it under Washington. George Washington?
Sir, that's only $1.
Only $1. Don't you know that with 10, 10, 2, 20, all calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents, and just 7 cents a minute after that. Plus, there's no monthly fee.
Great rates and no monthly fee?
All day, every day. Oh.
Walk this way.
Dial 1010-220.
This is the face of erectile dysfunction. So is this. And this. Fact is, 1 in 3 men have some form of ED, a medical condition also called impotence that affects men of every age, race, and background. What else do all these men have in common? They all faced up to their problem and got help. If you're experiencing ED, there's no need to hide your face. Just talk to your doctor. It's the best way to get educated about ED and how to treat it.
See the USA in your Chevrolet. America's the greatest land of all.
The new Chevy Impala LS has better acceleration than the 3 top-selling cars in its class. So it's only fair to tell you, Sunday drives may last until Tuesday. Let's go for a drive. Impala, we'll be there.
The FBI and militia groups may sound like natural enemies, but in an effort to counter potential terrorist attacks in the new millennium, the FBI is now making friends with old adversaries. ABC's Andrea McCarran has the story.
Recent arrests of militia members in California, Florida, and Georgia have law enforcement officials on edge. Some of those arrested had allegedly been planning terrorist attacks. Concern about millennial violence has the FBI turning to its traditional adversaries for help. They're holding informal meetings and sharing information with militias.
I think that there's a need for the government to appreciate the militias, and most of the militias have, honorable intentions. It's those few that stray to the right or the left that we'd be concerned about.
Among those cooperating with the FBI's outreach program, the 51st Missouri Militia, a group of citizens who say they have armed themselves to protect individual liberties. They've taken some flack from other militias for their relationship with the FBI, but they defend it.
I would much rather have federal law enforcement pick up the phone and call me, say, Mike, we got a problem, why don't you come down? I'd much rather have that happen than to have my door kicked open at 2 a.m. and get shot in my bed.
The militia movement has been in decline since the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing. But according to the Anti-Defamation League, there are still militias in 20 states, many of them anti-government.
They see in the federal agencies, they see in law enforcement, they see our democratic system as their enemy. They're dreaming for the day when they will overthrow it.
But the FBI says it is less worried about militia groups than it is about individuals who may carry out acts of violence on their own.
Even though those are potentially not the most catastrophic, they are the most difficult to defend against. They are not on anyone's radar screens, and in many cases they're splinters from domestic groups.
The FBI hopes that by working with militias, former foes can achieve a common goal, fighting terrorism and protecting American citizens. Andrea McCarran, ABC News, Washington.
President Clinton announced $900 million in federal aid for the homeless this weekend. It comes at a time of increasing hardship. But as ABC's Judy Muller reports, more and more local governments are getting tough on the homeless.
All across the country, cities are cracking down on the homeless. New York is a model of toughness, with plans to make the homeless work or lose space in shelters. In Sacramento, police issue one-way bus tickets out of town. San Francisco is aggressively prosecuting curfew violators.
If an arrest is warranted, they arrest. If it's a citation, they issue a citation.
Even Santa Monica, a city with a tradition of tolerance, is showing signs of compassion fatigue. In a recent community survey, residents overwhelmingly cited homelessness as the top problem.
I honestly don't understand it because there's a meanness about it that I think is really way beyond harsh.
The impatience with the homeless is linked to the nation's economic boom. Everywhere, downtown business revitalization is driving up property values and driving out the homeless. But where are they to go?
More affordable housing is the bottom line. People are homeless because they don't have homes.
No homes and very few options, even in tolerant towns like Santa Monica.
They need a better idea how to get a better shelter.
Where do you stay at night?
Outside.
Santa Monica recently conducted a census, which put its homeless population at just over 1,000. But there was room for only a third that number in shelters.
One banana?
Citizens often fight any effort to locate shelters in residential neighborhoods. In other words, fear often trumps compassion. This shelter, for example, is located in a non-residential neighborhood.
This is the only place that's off the beaten path, that's not going to have any complaints from neighbors.
It's the parking lot of a bus depot.
Yes, it is.
There are people that don't want to walk around their neighborhood that they've paid good money to live in and be harassed or by panhandlers or people under the influence. It's a problem.
A problem which more and more people just wish would disappear. Judy Muller, ABC News, Santa Monica.
Legendary composer and songwriter Curtis Mayfield has died. Mayfield, who was paralyzed in an onstage accident in 1990, had a string of hits, including Superfly and People Get Ready. Curtis Mayfield was 57.
Could nasty kitchen germs make you sick? Call in the specialist. Lysol antibacterial kitchen cleaner not only cleans, but is specially made to kill germs, even ones you don't know about yet. Is your cleaner a specialist? Lysol antibacterial kitchen cleaner is the only one you need. You have our word on it.
It's that time of year when everyone's going to be peeking into your oven. So get Easy Off.
Easy Off makes oven cleaning easier.
It's time. Time for your heartburn to kick in because your heartburn relief gave out. It happens 2 or more days a week, even though you've treated it and changed your diet. That frequent, persistent heartburn may be due to acid reflux disease, potentially serious.
It's Prilosec time. Time to see your doctor about prescription Prilosec. Your results may vary, but for many people, Prilosec provides 24 hours of complete heartburn relief with 1 daily dose. Ask your doctor for more information about Prilosec and if it's right for you. The most common side effects are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. 24 hours of complete heartburn relief is possible. It's Prilosec time.
When it comes to traditional luxury, it's anything but more of the same. Introducing the all-new 2000 Bonneville. Screaming with attitude you'd never expect in a luxury sports sedan. More luxury. More attitude. The all-new 2000 Bonneville by Pontiac.
I should have used Preparation H. Cool it fast with Preparation H Cooling Gel. Cools on contact for fast relief. Preparation H Cooling Gel cools on contact.
On this very special upcoming New Year's Eve, thousands of Americans will be spending the night at the last place they might have expected. ABC's Steve Osunsami explains.
When the ball drops in New York's Times Square this New Year's Eve, a record number of Americans will be hard at work. More than 800 companies have called in extra employees, more than 3 million in all. Even their bosses will be working the holiday.
It's important for the CEO, for the top HR executive, the top customer service executive to be there, to have a presence for the people that have been asked to come in and work on this special night.
Almost everyone is preparing for the worst. Potential Y2K computer crashes top the list. In Jersey City, 400 bankers will be ready to take calls from investors.
They know they got to be working, and they know that's the priority.
And in other cities across the country, tens of thousands of police officers on high alert.
On New Year's Eve, the general workload for patrol officers working during that shift will probably be pretty high with the radio calls, with the loud party responses and that sort of thing.
For some workers, the pain is not without gain. Domino's Pizza promised its 120,000 workers twice what they normally make if they come in and help out.
We're expecting to do, I would honestly tell you, over 1 million plus pizzas that night and 1 million plus pizzas that day.
This public relations firm is giving workers $2,000, a bottle of champagne, and a hotel voucher as an incentive.
My wife isn't so thrilled about giving up the weekend, but $2,000 is going to make Valentine's Day a lot more sweeter.
Small compensation for missing those millennial memories. Steve Osunsami, ABC News, Atlanta.
I'm working too. Still ahead, just how much is that partridge in a pear tree?
All right, kid. Here we go. 10-9. What do you got? What do you got? What? Yeah. All right, come on, come on.
What would you do if someone you loved had a heart attack? Did you know it's now been proven that the same Bayer aspirin you have in your bag for muscle aches may actually help stop you from dying if you take it during a heart attack?
Downtown. Lucky shot.
Can your pain reliever do that? Talk to your doctor now.
Next time I'll go easier on you.
Bayer, powerful pain relief and so much more.
I'm speechless.
Every year on Super Bowl Sunday, we surprise someone with $10 million. But this is no ordinary year.
Super Bowl Sunday, the Publishers Clearinghouse Prize Patrol kicks off the 21st century with $21 million.
You're not believing this!
It'll all happen on TV and at PCH.com. Watch your mail or go to PCH.com. Enter, and on Super Bowl Sunday, the $21 million winner could be you.
Sooner or later, you're going to quit smoking. So consider this. A quit date this good won't come along for another 1,000 years. Don't waste it. Quit with Nicoderm CQ. CQ's got the 3 gradual steps, and hundreds of thousands of smokers have already quit with it. Wasn't 1 millennium smoking enough? Start the next one with Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
Tonight on the ABC Big Picture Show, Mel and Nancy had a typical marriage.
Do you think we're ever gonna have sex?
Definitely.
Until Mel went looking for his real parents.
Consider my age and ask yourself how I maintain
why are you
this.
doing this?
Ben Stiller heads an all-star cast in the network television premiere.
Kind of remind me of my mother.
Flirting with Disaster, tonight on ABC.
Finally tonight, it's the second day of Christmas, according to the old song. As ABC's Deborah Amos reports, the most famous Christmas shopping list of all time is now more expensive than ever.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love...
The price of partridges hasn't changed much in recent years. They're about $15. But pear trees have soared like an internet stock, from $30 just 2 years ago to $98 today. The financial company PNC Advisors has been tracking the cost of the 12 days of Christmas since 1984.
Over the last 5 years, services such as the Lords of Leaping, the Ladies Dancing, the Drummers Drumming, have gone up in price pretty dramatically.
The song is centuries old, so to calculate the cost of the 12 days of Christmas, PNC Advisors had to make some allowances.
For example, drummers drumming and pipers piping are considered to be union musicians working at union scale for one performance. The maids of milking are paid minimum wage for the purpose of these calculations. But of course, the maids are likelier to be machines these days.
I haven't ever done a full milking by hand, though. The little ladies with their stools.
next to the cow, so it's not quite like that anymore. To fix a price for poultry, and there is a lot of it, partridges, turtle doves, French hens, geese, swans, PNC advisors asked the Philadelphia Zoo what their birds cost. So when it all adds up, what does it come to?
11 lords a leaping, 10 ladies dancing, 9 pipers piping, 8 maids a milking, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
About $15,000, 5% more than last year. But of course, true love is priceless. I'm Deborah Amos, ABC News. Happy holidays.
That's our report. And now we'd like to recognize the folks who work so hard all year long to bring you World News Tonight, Saturday and Sunday. I'm Carol Simpson, and on behalf of all of us, happy holidays.
Monday, if the medical device you need to live fails, why should you be denied the right to sue? Watch ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. This has been a presentation of ABC News. More American